The Bengals cannot retain defensive coordinator Anarumo for the 2025 season, and honestly, the sooner that they move on from him, the sooner that they can answer an even bigger question, and in this video, I'll explain exactly what that means. Hi again, Bengals fans. John Sheeran of A2C Sports Cincinnati here, and I feel exactly how a lot of you guys probably feel about Lou Anarumo. I think as sports fans in general, we kind of turn into 18th century France a little bit too easily, and we get addicted to sending people to the guillotine and calling for people's jobs. It almost becomes second nature when things aren't going right, and sometimes we go a little bit too far. But when it comes to Anarumo and this Bengals defense, the fact that it's the same old story every single week, and the offense is doing everything in their power to be perfect to overcome so many points allowed on the scoreboard, it becomes a matter of not only accountability, but just sanity in general. How many times is Joe Burrow and the rest of the offense, no matter how many points that they may put up in that given week, how many times are they supposed to just watch on the sidelines as their defense gets carved up and makes their lives infinitely harder? Clearly, it's not a strategy worth building around. The Bengals are now the only team in NFL history to have 4 losses in a single season despite scoring at least 33 points in each of those games. They're 4-8. The postseason is basically a fairy tale at this point. This season is a total failure, and practically all the blame can be placed on the defense's shoulders. It's as simple as that. Has the offense been A+ perfect? No, but they really shouldn't have to be if this defense was just barely even below league average. No, this defense is in the basement in terms of just basic athletic ability and playing within the scheme. All of that is enough justification to make sure that Anarumo shouldn't be back next year, but the reason why he should be fired right now is for Zach Taylor's sake. In case it wasn't very obvious, belief was fading rapidly out of the Bengals locker room before this game. I can only imagine how low morale is right now. And that can happen when leadership fails to showcase accountability, when they just continue with the status quo despite the ship clearly having a lot of holes at the bottom. Taylor is in grave danger of just losing this locker room altogether, and that would be the one thing that would get him canned at the end of the season. He already has to put all the blame on Anarumo at the very least at the end of the season in order to keep his job. I think just doing it right now and cutting ties, that's the only way you're going to see what fight this defense has left. There's already enough to support this decision. The Bengals have given up 34 points in each of their last 3 games. All 3 of them have been losses. They've given up 34 points in 3 straight games only 2 other times in franchise history, in 1991 and 2018. And in each of those seasons, the defensive coordinator was not brought back. The best time to have ripped off the Band-Aid was after the Chargers game, when you had the bye week to sort things out, to get players acclimated under the interim DC. The next best time to do it is right now. See how your entire defense responds to the biggest move that you could possibly make. See how they respond to new leadership, to just a new voice leading the charge. Because if you just keep hammering away at the status quo and showcasing no accountability here, everyone who hasn't already checked out, they will soon be checking out as well. Anarumo is officially a lame duck coordinator, and there's no use of putting this off any longer than you have to. And if the Bengals don't make this decision now, then they should just look at an entire new coaching staff in January. And honestly, probably not the worst idea.